Imagine a high school where students pass through metal detectors each morning, their faces reflecting mistrust and unease. Suspensions in schools have skyrocketed, and many students have simply disengaged. What if, instead of this punitive atmosphere, students walked through doors knowing their emotional well being was as valued as their academic success? Schools today face growing challenges related to student behavior, emotional well being, and community integration. Traditional disciplinary measures, like suspensions and detentions, often worsen these issues, leading to a cycle of disengagement and an unhealthy school culture. Think of Sam, a student who constantly disrupts math class. Teachers have tried everything from sending her to the principal's office to calling home, but her behavior continues to escalate. What no one realized was that Sam's disruptive behavior stemmed from trauma at home, where she's dealing with the recent loss of a parent. Traditional disciplinary methods ignore these underlying issues, focusing on punishment rather than addressing the emotional and social needs that drive behavior. This presentation explores how restorative ecosystems, grounded in emotional literacy and innovation, offer a powerful framework for systemic change. Instead of punishment, they nurture healing, connection, and proactive solutions that can transform not only the students, but the entire school community. Restorative ecosystems involve interconnected systems that address harm, promote justice, and build community. They are like the roots of a tree, strong and intertwined, supporting the growth of a healthy school culture. Fania Davis, a leader in restorative justice, likens this approach to moving from a punitive war zone into a community garden, where everyone, students, educators, families, and community members, contribute to the collective well-being. Traditional discipline isolates problems, but restorative ecosystems are like a neighborhood where everyone shares responsibility. Consider the story of a middle school in Denver that transitioned to a restorative model after a series of violent fights. Teachers, students, and even local community members participated in restorative circles. Instead of focusing on punishment, they worked together to rebuild trust. Over time, students became more invested in the process, knowing that their voices mattered and that they were accountable to their community. Restorative ecosystems are like planting seeds. They foster long-lasting change by ensuring collective responsibility, where students and staff alike become stewards of the school's culture. In Oakland, schools that adopted restorative practices saw a significant reduction in suspensions and a stronger sense of community. The change didn't just affect individual classrooms, it reshaped the entire school climate. One teacher noted, "For the first time, my students feel like they belong here." Emotional literacy is the ability to recognize and respond to emotions constructively, and it's a cornerstone of restorative ecosystems. Think of a young student named Maria who bursts into tears after being accused of cheating on a test. Her teacher, instead of reacting with punishment, pauses to ask Maria how she's feeling. This simple moment of emotional literacy opens the door for Maria to share that she's been under pressure to perform well since her parents recently divorced. Through this emotional connection, Maria's teacher is able to offer support, not condemnation. When students and teachers are equipped with emotional literacy, they can navigate the emotional landscapes of their lives more effectively. In a school in Texas, educators began integrating emotional literacy training, using simple strategies like daily check-ins and emotion charts. The result? Students who used to lash out in frustration started expressing their feelings in healthier ways. Instead of anger leading to suspension, it led to understanding. This approach connects deeply with trust-based relational intervention, which is built on emotional support and relational care. In a school setting, educators trained in TBRI learn to see beyond behavior and recognize the underlying emotional needs. A teacher at a TBRI-informed school shared how one student, who had been labeled as aggressive, transformed once his emotional needs were consistently addressed. Instead of seeing him as a problem, they began to see him as a person in need of care, and his behavior followed suit. Restorative practices shouldn't just stop at fixing what's broken, they are also a springboard for innovation. Picture a school where students work with local artists to create murals representing the values of their restorative community. These murals didn't just decorate the hallways, they sparked ongoing discussions about identity, justice, and community. The restorative process became more than reparation. It became a way to inspire growth and new thinking. A school that partners with local mental health clinics, family support services, and after-school programs to address the broader needs of students helps to create a wider set of supports for all students. This web of support helps in addressing issues like housing insecurity and mental health challenges that fuel behavioral issues. This is what restorative innovation looks like, going beyond the classroom to address the systemic inequities students face every day. One compelling case study comes from the Oakland Unified School District. After introducing restorative practices, the district saw a 40% reduction in suspensions in just a few years. One high school student reflected, "Before, I didn't feel like anyone cared. Now I feel a part of something bigger than myself." Restorative ecosystems like this not only fix problems, but prevent harm by creating a culture of care and innovation. Restorative ecosystems offer more than just a solution to behavioral challenges. They provide a framework for healing and equity. By emphasizing emotional literacy, collective responsibility, and collaboration, schools can create environments that support not only academic success, but also emotional well-being and community connection. The shift to restorative ecosystems is not just about fixing what's wrong, it's about building something new, something more compassionate, just, and forward-thinking. Imagine a future where every student feels seen, heard, and valued. This is the promise of restorative ecosystems, a promise we can make real in our schools.